All right, we're going to look at lesson 6.1a, which is combining like terms. The objective for this lesson is that I can simplify equations and expressions by combining like terms. Let's review the difference between equations and expressions. So here we have an expression. An expression is made up of different math terms, but there's no equal sign. Whereas an equation, here we have the same math terms, but there's an equal sign and something on the other side. Think about it. Equation sounds like equal. So equations have an equal sign, expressions don't. You're going to need to know some vocabulary here. Like terms, there are 3 terms in this expression. 1, 2, 3. Anything that is not an operation, that's not plus, minus, divide by, those are terms. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Now, there's some other vocabulary we're going to go over as well. A variable is a letter that we use to represent an unknown number. In this expression, we have 2 variables. We have a, which stands for a number that we don't know yet, and we have g, which stands for a different number that we don't know yet. A coefficient is the number that multiplies by a variable. 2 is a coefficient. It's in front of a, it's multiplying. This says 2 times a, or that we have 2 a's. And lastly, a constant is just a number without a variable. Now over here, same thing. It's the same terms on the left side of the equal sign. Our variables are still a and g. We still have 2 as a coefficient. But this time, not only do we have 14 as a constant, but we also have 19 as a constant. These are both just numbers by themselves. All right, so this lesson is about combining like terms. So let's talk about what that means. What are like terms? Like terms are terms that share the same variable to the same power or are constants. I've got some examples of things that are like terms and some examples of things that are not like terms. Like terms are things that can be combined. For example, 6x and x can be combined because they have the same variable. Here we have 6 x's, here we just have 1 x. Same variable, combinable. Here we have 2w to the 3rd power and 8w to the 3rd power. Not only are they the same variable, they're both w, but they have the same power. The exponent in the corner is 3 and 3. So these can be combined because they have the same variable and exponent. And lastly, we have 2 constants, 17 and 54. They're both just numbers, so we can combine those. Now, here's some examples of things that are not like terms. These are things that cannot be combined. 3y and 9z are not like terms. Y, z, different variables. We cannot combine things with different variables. So that's as simple as we could get that. 7 and 2g are not like terms. 7 is a constant. It doesn't have a variable, and g is a variable. Cannot combine constants and variables. And lastly, we have w to the 2nd power and w to the 7th power. These have different exponents. If they have different exponents, we can't combine them. They are not the same. They're not like terms. All right, so let's look at how we combine like terms, how we can take an expression that looks like this with a bunch of things going on and simplify it and make it smaller and easier. So step 1, we want to identify like terms. We want to find the things that can be combined. So here I have 4k plus 5 plus k minus 2x plus 9. I see multiple things with a k attached. These are combinable. Notice I also circled the operation in front. That's going to be important. That plus goes with that k. I also see a couple constants. I see 5 and I see 9. Those are like terms. I can combine those. Lastly, I have minus 2x, which is kind of by itself. There's no other x's, so that one does not have any like terms. After we identify our like terms, we're going to rewrite our expression with our like terms next to each other. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to start with 4k, and I'm going to put plus k next to it. Next, I'm going to do plus 5, plus 9, minus 2x. It does not matter what order you put things in, as long as you make sure the operation stays with the term. Now I've got things I can combine. 4k and k are like terms. I have 4k's, I add one more, I have 5k total. 5 and 9 are like terms. 5 plus 9 gives me 14. I have a plus in between. I can't combine minus 2x with anything, so I'm just going to bring it down. Minus 2x. There is my simplified expression. We took this, we shortened it by combining like terms into just 3 terms. All right, let's look at our next example. We have 2 plus 9b minus 4b minus 7. First thing we need to do is identify like terms. I see a constant, so here's 2 and minus 7. Those are like terms. I've got a couple things with b's, so I've got 9b and 4b. Those are similar. Now I've identified all of my like terms. I need to rewrite my expression with my like terms next to each other. Start with 2 because that's out front. I need to put minus 7 next to it because those are like terms. Then I'm going to put plus 9b and then minus 4b. I'm going to combine the things that are combinable. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. 9b minus 4b is going to give us 5b. We have a plus sign in the middle, and there's our simplified version. All right, go ahead and move on to your practice.